Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to this class and this office hours. Nice to be here again. So while we wait around for others, if you have more questions, any question based on what we discussed or what you have learned throughout the day, you can actually ask questions, and I will just check through them and give you answers to the questions. All right, so let's keep the questions coming. So if you have any questions, just please ask me. Speak up. Let's hear it. Francis, how do we make animated login pages? Why do you want to make animated login pages? When you say animated login pages, what do you mean by animated login pages? I'm trying to understand what you mean by animated login pages. Adura, what do you mean by animated login pages? All right, so material design for the assignment or style guide, is that okay? Yes, you can use material design, that's fine. Luciferus, that's fine. Let's say stop asking questions not related to it. I mean login pages that can shift, change shape, or increase in size. Oh, that's interesting. Change shape or increase in size. That's interesting. That's like prototyping. You're going to be taught almost at the end of the program how to prototype your screens, how to prototype different screens, how to make things move around. So you're going to be taught that. So just hold on. If you can learn online, you can always learn online, but then you can just perfect your UI designs for now. So, but when we start the practicals now, I may actually just show you a little bit of it.
Hello, Eloy. Sorry for interrupting you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
You're echoing.
Oh, okay. All right, sorry about that, everyone. We're just going to continue. So sorry for the breaking transmission. All right, so I think if we were here in the class yesterday, I think you would know where we ended, where we stopped from, and I was explaining the old design thinking process and intro to Figma part of the week task. So we're just going to continue from where we stopped yesterday. So I don't know, but then if you have any questions, you can ask your questions on the week 2 task. You can ask your questions. So let's just start. So let me just give a recap of what we did yesterday. All right, so what we did yesterday was all right, so we did all of this yesterday. Showed how to actually create shapes in Figma, how to interact with the shapes, and how to just use simple tools like the shape tools, the rectangle, line, arrow, ellipse tool, that's the circle tool. How to use them to create like say different shapes and different patterns. All right, so can you hear me? I want to be sure you can hear me. So all right, so for today, I think we're just gonna stop where we start, where I stopped yesterday. So I'm just gonna explain from there. All right, so yesterday I explained the whole design thinking process, which is this: empathizing, defining, ideating, and prototyping, then testing. And it's an iterative process because you go from you can prototype and go back to define and find out a new problem. So it's a system that is well connected, like everything goes into each other, everything joins into each other. So that's the way it works. So Sunday says I should give format of answering the design thinking assignment. The design thinking assignment, I talked about that yesterday. The format is definitely inside the task sheet. So someone said I should explain introduction to Figma task. Okay, let me just take a look. Let me just see if I can get that. Let me just try to check. All right, so intro to Figma task, you're just supposed to write the objective answers of that task. Like you just write the objective answers of that task. So that's what you're supposed to do for the intro to Figma task. Then someone says, is it advisable to continue watching new classes or I watch all I've missed? I was able to add my calendar today. Just continue, just watch. You don't have to, if you don't need anything, if you understand the resources quite all right, just join the ones that follow like future classes. Just join the future classes. But if you feel like you still don't understand anything, you can rewatch the old ones. But if you're fine and you are able to catch up, yeah, just join and move on. So that's gonna be fine. All right. Can JPEG images be imported into Figma? Yes, JPEG images can be imported in Figma, and there are different ways you could actually achieve that. So, we're going to be doing some part of that today. So continuing from where we stopped yesterday, we have our logo now. So the logo is going to be Swifty. I have the option of using any of the two logos. So says, please help me with the design thinking assignment. I'm really confused on how to write the assignment. Where should I write it? I'm totally confused. Please help me. Is there a format? I think the question is quite explanatory enough. And if you look at the question very well, you understand what's needed of you, what you need to do. So I don't think there's really much to explain. It just says you should think of how the laws of UX, the laws of UX task. How do you think what do you think? How do you think of the solution to those laws that were broken, the law of UX task? So you find a law, you say that okay, this law has been broken. Then what do you think is the solution to this law? That's what you do for your design thinking task. So I think that's the way to add it. And I think the what do you call it, the way to submit your answers are there. Okay, I think for UX laws is Google Doc, and then for design thinking task is Figma. So just read it very well. Read very well. Yeah, the one where you have to submit your Figma link. Yes, that's the one I'm talking about too. So just copy the Figma link. You type things. Okay, let me just show you my Figma. So okay, this is me in Figma. This is me in Figma and everything. So you can click on share. It brings up this pop. Then you can say copy and paste. You can share. So you can copy the link and then paste the link anywhere to share it after you are done with your UI, after you are done what you want to do. So someone said you've been sick for 5 days, not just discharge, log into your LMS and you had an assignment expiring next day. What can you do? Sorry, I'm not really sure there's anything you can do. You just have to try to attempt the assignment. If it's something you can do within a short period of time, fine. But if you cannot do it, sorry about that. But if you want to still lodge any complaint, you can reach out to the coordinators. Will you be penalized for submitting your design thinking task with Google Doc? Maybe you might be penalized because the instruction clearly says Figma link. So you submitting on Google Doc could actually get you penalized. So, but then be hopeful. Be hopeful. All right. So someone says, I always find it difficult accessing the website. What do I do? Are you accessing it via mobile screen or via web? Like depends on how you are accessing it. So how are you accessing it? Via web or via mobile? And the 7 of begging for live caption. Oh, sorry about that. I think it's being worked on. They are currently working on it, Emma. How do I reach out to the coordinator? You can reach out on Zoom or you can reach out on the LMS. I think you can request for help on the LMS. Yes, for the design thinking assignment, you just put solutions in a text format on Figma. But read the assignment very well. I'm not sure it's only text they want you to write. I think there's something about screenshot and images. So think about it very well. All right. So somebody asked if how they could add image to Figma. So what you can do is you can click on this this Figma icon here. And once you click on this Figma icon here, you click on the drop down, you go to file. So when you go to file, you will see place image. So once you click on place image, it will bring your Windows pop-up. So you can actually select any image you want to select from there. So I'm just going to scroll and select an image and bring it in. So if I click on the image and I say open, now you can see the image has been attached to my mouse. That's the image I'm moving around. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to click on anywhere and the image gets added. So if I zoom out now, see the image here. So that's how big the image is. So you see the image is very big. So the image has been added. Then I can scale the image down. I can scale the image down however way I want. I can scale it up. So, and while I am scaling, I am clicking on shift. I'm pressing shift and holding it down. So I can scale appropriately, like all the old corners are scaling appropriately. Well, if you scale without pressing shift, your image can get destroyed. And that's like that's one of the say road to bad designing. So your designs are not going to look very good if you actually don't frame your images properly. All right, so that's that about that. All right, how to add image. So that's that. Then the task didn't indicate screenshot. Okay, yeah, so that's fine. Then you don't have to put any screenshot. So to put this into perspective, we're expected to write the answers to our design thinking task on Figma, then submit the link. Yes, that is what you're supposed to do. Then someone says, please, I don't have a laptop for my task. Can I get withdrawn from the training? Yes, I think you can just withdraw normally all by yourself. Like you don't need to maybe ask anybody. You can just like silently withdraw yourself from the training. So that's one way to go about it. All right. So in the design thinking task, are we going to create like a design to show the possible solutions? No, just write about the solution. Read very well. the tasks that are given are very clear and concise. They've been checked over and over again. Read them very well. It says just write, like write out the solutions. Write out the solutions. You're not supposed to design. It says write out the solution. So you're not creating any design. Write out the solution. That's what it says. How can the image be rescaled to its original size when it has been adjusted? Well, for me, I just press Control Z, Control Z, Control Z till I get back to where it is. Or if I know the original size, the width and the height, I can just set it myself. But what I just do is I can just click on Control Z, like Control Z, Control Z till it gets back to where it originally. Like now, the way it is now, I can just click Control Z, Control Z. Sorry, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. And see, it scales up, it becomes very big. So because of Control Z. So all right. So someone says how can the image be rescaled? Okay, I've answered that. Good evening. I was checking design trends and I found out that grid system for that screen like desktop is now centered. Is it compulsory or is it personal aesthetic for designers? Well, it depends. You'll be taught grid next week though. So it depends on you, it depends on the designer. Okay, so let me see. This is one desktop frame I did. So I think what you can just do is oh really? Interesting. All right, so you can just easily just if I show my grid for this one now, I use just a straightforward grid. I didn't do much. I didn't do any crazy stuff. So let me see Shift G. Okay, so I don't have grid on that one. Let me see. All right. Does this one have grid? No. All right, so those ones don't have grid. Let me check if there's anyone that has a grid. All right, doesn't have grid. Does it have grid now? Okay, most of these ones have grids. Let me check the. Okay, don't have grid. Doesn't have grid. Okay, so I'm just going to show you manually myself. Okay, so what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to create a new frame, a desktop frame. Let me just create a desktop frame. So this is a desktop frame. Not supposed to be doing this though, because you'll be taught obviously next week. So okay, so I'm using Figma desktop app. Anyone, you can actually use anyone. But I'm using the Figma desktop app. How do we reduce the image size? When you say image size, you can actually mean two different things. Like, do you mean the size, like how big it is here, or you mean the size, like when you export it, like 5 MB, 2 MB, 3 MB? You could actually mean anything. So size, like that's like a very but if it's size here, how do you increase it? You can just drag from the edges, reduce from the edges, anyone. That's how you change the size. All right, so grid, I'm just gonna show you real quick. So I click on this, then I do click on layout grid here. Once I click on layout grid, I click on this small box beside the grid. Then I change grids to column. You see this drop down here, you click on it, you change from grid to column. Then how many column count do I want? I want 12 because normal desktop actually uses 12. My margin, I designed on the count of say 8-point grid system. That's how I design. So I'm using 8-point grid system. So yeah, since I've done it times without number, I can just write 104. Or I could use 96, or I could use 80. Those are like this that's what I'm just going to use. So it's a lot of things in aspect. So